Alright, everyone, time for the final episode of Review of the Day, which is Betty and Veronica. Veronica searches through her stuff and finds a microphone and a pencil sharpener, suggesting that Claire's weedman was tracking her. Veronica waits for Wallace after a basketball game until Principal Clemens pulls her aside. Principal Clemens asks Veronica to find the school's mascot, a bird named Polly, which has recently been stolen. Veronica agrees to help under certain conditions. The principal and others think that a rival high school, Pan High, took the bird. Wallace has become increasingly popular and abandons Veronica at lunch. Rude. Veronica goes undercover at Pan High, where their basketball players act as surprised as Neptunes at the parrot stealing. In addition, Veronica receives the news that the Pan High mascot has also been stolen. Flashing back to where the previous episode left off, Veronica confronts her mother about her feelings for Jake Kane. Leanne says that she knows Jake Kane is innocent because they were together at the time of the murder. Veronica asks Leo for the tapes of Lily's murder investigation. Back in the past, Leanne informs Veronica that the meeting was to protect her. Undercover at the school, everyone sees people congratulating a nerdy-looking boy Richie on stealing the parrot, which Neptune sends a package of goat meat to the cafeteria. Ugh. Veronica talks to Richie and flirts with him, asking if he would give her a tour of Rest Stop 15, a place where students go to park, buy and sell, etc. Veronica catches the boy's locker combination and calls Weevil with the parrot information, and lets Weevil know of the plan to meet at Rest Stop 15. Upon arriving at Rest Stop 15, Richie is confronted by Weevil. Richie says that the parrot in the picture is not Neptune's mascot. Leo brings back the Lily Kane investigation tapes to Veronica. Back in the past, Leanne says that she does not know who Veronica's real father is, and that a paternity test would be needed. At Neptune High, Veronica sits with Wallace and his new friends. Later, Wallace leads Veronica to a truck with a goat in it. Veronica listens to the interrogation tapes, and she hears Keith talking to Jake Kane. Veronica sends Wallace to deliver a gift to Clarence Wiedemann's assistant. Veronica listens to Keith's interrogation of Celeste Kane. That night, Veronica goes on a date with Leo before she sees Meg with Duncan on a double date with Jake and Celeste at the same restaurant. Flashing back one more time, Leanne reveals Celeste's knowledge of the affair. Veronica points out a mistake in Jake and Celeste's story. Leanne says they were at the hotel for 20 minutes, while Jake said they were there for 2.5 hours. Meanwhile, a Penn High student in a mask shows the Neptune people over TV that he has the parrot. The students demand that Wallace does not play, or else Polly will die. Bum bum bum. Veronica talks with Meg, who says that the thug must have put in the announcement the night before. The two examine the photograph, and Veronica sees the basketball number on the person's sneakers. Veronica steals both the mascots back and frames the actual culprit, a Neptune boy who stole the parrot so he could kick Wallace out and go back to being a starter so that he could continue sabotaging his team's chances of winning the basketball game and ensuring winning bets against Neptune. Veronica checks her mother into a rehabilitation center. Veronica talks to her father about her discovery that Abel Kuntz is someone's proxy. Veronica takes out the pencil sharpener and states fakery that she knows who collected Abel Kuntz's accounts. Veronica, assuming that Wallace has delivered the gift, which he did and had a microphone in it, listens. Clarence Wiedemann asks his assistant to call Amelia de Longpre, and Veronica finds out that Amelia is Abel Kuntz's daughter. Bum bum bum. So now let's take a look at some cultural references here. A variety of cultural references are made in the episode. Veronica references the Wildlife Alliance and the film Valley Girl. Veronica misquotes an Academy Awards speech of Sally Field. Veronica says that the Neptune High vending machines carry orangia, however that's pronounced. Veronica calls herself a human Google. Leanne reminds Veronica about a time when she wanted to have Cyndi Lauper's haircut. When Leanne tells Veronica about that her meetup with Jake Kane was just to talk to him, Veronica simply replies, "On the day all the Starbucks were closed." Wallace says that the goat ate his Air Jordans. Veronica references the 1976 supernatural horror film Carrie. Richie compares Rest Stop 15 as a cross between Inspiration Point, a location in Happy Days, and Tijuana. Veronica chooses the alias Betty at Pan High School, which is a reference to the often-odd characters Betty and Veronica in Archie comics. As Betty, she says she is a transfer student from Riverdale. Polly, the mascot of Neptune High, was also a reference to the sister Betty from Archie comics. And now finally to some marked significance in this episode. Leon Mars doesn't know who Veronica's father is. It could be Jake or Keith. Leon says that she was with Jake at the time of Lily's murder, but that Celeste barged in. However, Celeste was only there for 20 minutes. Veronica gets the interrogation tapes of Jake and Celeste. They both claim they were at hotel for 2.5 hours, but their stories conflict. Veronica finds that Clarence Weedman bugged her room, so he bugs his office and learns that Abel Koontz has a daughter, Amelia DeLongpre. And now on to some music. The following music can be heard in the episode: Pick Up the Phone by the No Twist, You and Your Kind by the Brown Mountain Lights, A Chorus Line by Ultramagnetic MCs, Ratbed by the File Marshals of Bethlehem, Nothing Is Wrong by the Brown Mountain Lights, Fall Behind Me by the Donnas, and Headphone Land, The Gangster Chopper by Mice Parade. And now finally onto the production. The episode was written by regular writer Dan Ruggiero and directed by Michael Fields. This episode marks Ruggiero's 5th writing credit for the show, as well as Fields' 2nd directing credit after The Wrath of Khan. The episode's title is a joking reference to 2 characters from Archie comics, Betty Cooper and Veronica Lodge. At Pan High, Veronica calls herself Betty and says that she's a transfer from Riverdale High, the name of a school in town in the comic strip. In addition, this episode features appearances by several recurring characters, including Veronica's mother Leanne, Duncan's parents, Celeste and Jake Kane, Leo D'Amato, and Meg Manning. So overall, I say that this episode is kind of interesting, and the whole flashbacks with the previous episode and stuff like that is kind of interesting as well. So, yeah. So overall, I give Betty and Veronica 3 marshmallows out of 5. Well, tune in on Monday as we continue on our look with the season with Canes and Abels. So, until then, remember everyone, the game's afoot.